AC here. Hi guys and gals. Well, hope you're all well. It is Monday, and it's even Monday morning. And on Mondays, when possible, I try and do a few tags, and today will be no exception. So, just to show, I'm walking along the pond near our near our home. I guess I must be nostalgic for work. Anyway, and I'll stop interrupting myself and get into the tags, where I will do as usual. I'll start with Jasmine's 5 question tag. Hi there, Jasmine, and do hope it's going to be a good week for you. By the way, do you have snow? I'll send some to you. Okay, so let's start. So, question 1. The dumbest thing you've seen someone do. Oh my goodness. I've seen quite a few dumb things. I'm trying to think of if I can think of the dumbest. My goodness. Sometimes, I just say sometimes, I've been with the family to IKEA. This is a few years back. And, IKEA is one of these places where, unless you go with an empty car, especially if you're intending on buying stuff, either you go with a very big car, an empty car, or a rack on top of the car. But I remember seeing someone, it was like something out of these strange, I was almost going to say these movies where you see, that's better, where these movies where you see somebody in a small car. Well, if somebody had a small, was it a Fiat 500 or one of those really small ones, and there were, I don't know how many people, there were a lot of people actually. So the car was already a small car. It's a bit like a Morris Mini, Fiat 500, and the old ones at least. And the car was full with people, and they had a sofa and a whole bunch of other stuff that they had bought, and they were trying to see how to. Well, first off, I remember them opening that little boot. So. The trunk for the Americans and Canadians. They are opening the boot and trying to stuff things in there, and you're thinking that cannot fit in there. And I know it was like something right out of a I don't know, a comedy skit or something. And tying things on top of the car, but they had some type of rope. And they'd open the doors, and I think they put the sofa and stuff, and straight onto the roof, Anyway, you kind of wonder, where do people come from? Why do you buy those things if you're not able to bring them home? Anyway, that was pretty dumb. There's certainly other things, but I've always kind of kept that one in my mind. Question 2. How comfortable are you in large crowds? I think we've been asked that question a few times. I have two answers to that. It depends. If I'm going to be the person, if I'm in a large crowd and I'm the one talking, because I've been in that situation many times, I don't have a problem. I'm supposedly in control, and I'm in front, and I'm giving my talk, and there might be questions, but it's okay. Now, if I'm in a large crowd where there's networking and you're supposed to do a bunch of small talk, I hate it. I really don't like being in a large crowd like that. I'm a non-shy introvert. I would almost use it that way in that respect. But I don't like being in crowds like that. That's usually why when Mrs. DC is with me, she shields or she fields the questions. Then there's probably a third aspect, is how do I feel in a large crowd if I'm in a crowd? In other words, where I don't have to network with the people and I'm just surrounded by people. You know, because some people are have agoraphobia. I do not have agoraphobia. So if I'm in a large crowd where I don't have to interact, so in other words, I'm alone in the large crowd, I have no problems whatsoever. Yeah, so that kind of answers the question. Question 3. The most absurd way you ever got hurt? Well, I have walked on ice and slipped and looked like a clown. That's happened more than once to me. I could do it right now if I want to fall on the ice, but I probably don't. One absurd way, I think, and I could have lost a finger. I almost lost my thumb, actually. There is still, let me see it, a scar that's left on it. I was carrying 2 small filing cabinets, so not, one on top of the other, and one slipped and basically sliced part of my, well, it did a pretty good job at trying to slice off my thumb. So it cut pretty deeply, and that was a pretty dumb. Oh no, I did think of another one. I was in the lab and I was pipetting something. Is that true? No, I was using a pipette in the lab. A pipette is something like like an eyedropper, to pull it, to suck in liquids. But when we would do very small reactions, where we would have milligrams or sub-milligrams of compound, we would use the pipette as a, oh goodness, how do I explain that? As a separation vessel. The separation vessel meaning that we would put something called silica gel in it, and when you put a liquid or a substance, I'll keep it simple in that respect, they separate, they create like bands, if you could say, and they separate at different speeds, the different molecules within the solution. So anyway, to make the story short, I was putting something into that pipette, and I stuck the pipette right through my hand, between the thumb and the hand, and I was looking like a complete idiot walking around with that in my hand. Yeah. So yeah, that's maybe another one. Okay, that was question 3. Yes. Question 4. How often do you challenge yourself? Quite regularly. Later on today, what time is it actually? It's in the morning. It is Monday, and it is 10:37 in the morning, and I will be having a Spanish class where we will be discussing moral and ethics or something like that, probably. And I'm challenging myself because I don't feel that I'm up to talking with that, sometimes even in my own language. And I'm going to try and discuss it in Spanish. So yeah, learning things. I like to challenge myself, but I like to do it paced. And one thing I really hate, that's not part of the question, but challenging myself and having an examination on it. No, I like to challenge myself at my own pace and not have somebody judge me. Yes. Question 5 and last. Let me see. Would you change your life if someone asks you? If someone asks me? Well, I guess I just ask myself. No, I'm quite happy actually with my life is, and I'm happy with the way my life was. And there is something about well, I've spoken about it many times about the way you look at life, but I guess it's also the way you look at yourself. So if you're able to live with yourself, you don't have to actually change your life. But anyway, I'll stay away from theology because I'm up in, or philosophy because I'm up to 10 minutes. But that's it. So thanks a lot, Jasmine. Good questions. Yeah. And have a good week. Take care. I'll be DC signing off. Bye.